Born around the year 480 in the small town of Nursia in present-day Umbria, Italy, Saint Benedict emerged during a tumultuous era. The Roman Empire had fallen, and Europe was engulfed in political chaos and spiritual uncertainty. It was in this landscape that Benedict's story began, a narrative that would reshape the Christian world and leave an enduring mark on Western civilization. Benedict's early years were shaped by privilege and education. Sent to Rome to study, he became disillusioned by the city's moral decay and the distractions that surrounded him. Longing for a life of purpose and spiritual clarity, Benedict withdrew from the bustle of urban life. He ventured into the rugged hills near Subiaco, seeking solitude and a deeper connection with God. There, in a remote cave, Benedict embraced the life of a hermit, dedicating himself to prayer, contemplation, and ascetic practices. News of Benedict's wisdom and holiness spread quickly among those in search of spiritual guidance. Disciples gathered around him, drawn by his example and teachings. Recognizing the dangers of extreme asceticism and the need for balance, Benedict began to shape a vision for communal monastic life, a vision that would become his greatest legacy. In the year 529, Benedict founded the monastery of Monte Cassino, perched on a rocky hilltop south of Rome. Here, he composed his seminal work, the Rule of Saint Benedict. This text offered practical guidance for monks, emphasizing a life grounded in prayer, work, and communal living. The rule championed moderation, humility, obedience, and hospitality. It balanced spiritual devotion with daily labor, insisting that ora et labora, prayer and work, should shape the rhythm of monastic life. The Rule of Saint Benedict became the cornerstone for Western monasticism. Unlike earlier forms of monasticism that favored extreme isolation, Benedict's approach fostered stability, mutual support, and a structured routine. Each monk had a role and responsibilities, contributing to the well-being of the community. Through this model, Benedict created a spiritual family, united by common purpose and guided by compassion. As the years passed, Benedict's influence expanded. Monasteries following his rule spread throughout Italy and, in time, across the whole of Western Europe. These communities became centers of learning, agriculture, and charity, preserving classical knowledge during the Dark Ages and nurturing the seeds of cultural renewal. Benedictine monks transcribed ancient texts, cultivated the land, and served the poor, embodying the ideals of their founder. Saint Benedict's own life was marked by humility and miracles. According to tradition, he performed acts of healing, exorcised demons, and was protected from poison by divine intervention. His reputation as a man of God drew people from all walks of life, from peasants to kings, seeking his counsel and intercession. Around the year 547, Benedict died at Monte Cassino, having just received Holy Communion. He was buried beside his twin sister, Saint Scholastica, who herself had founded a monastic community for women. Together, their legacy would inspire countless generations. The Feast of Saint Benedict is celebrated on different dates across Christian traditions. In the Roman Catholic Church, his principal feast day falls on July 11th, a date established in the 20th century to honor his pivotal role in Western Christianity. However, the older liturgical calendar and the Eastern Orthodox Church commemorate him on March 14th, the traditional date of his death. The significance of Benedict's feast day extends far beyond a single celebration. For Benedictines around the world, it is a time of reflection, renewal, and thanksgiving. Monasteries mark the occasion with solemn masses, the singing of hymns, and communal meals. Special prayers are offered for the unity of the Church, the flourishing of monastic life, and the well-being of all who seek God. In Italy, especially in Umbria and at Monte Cassino, celebrations take on a festive character. Pilgrims flock to Benedictine sites, participating in processions, liturgies, and cultural events. The Abbey of Monte Cassino, rebuilt after its destruction in World War II, stands as a symbol of resilience and faith, a fitting tribute to the saint who once called it home. Across Europe, Benedict's feast is observed with varying customs. In England, many Anglican communities honor him as the father of Western monasticism, reflecting his influence on both Catholic and Protestant traditions. In France, the Benedictine abbeys that dot the landscape come alive with special services and open their doors to visitors, sharing the legacy of their founder. The Eastern Orthodox Church, too, remembers Benedict as a saint and abbot. Though the Rule of Benedict was less widely adopted in the East, his example of holiness and the principles of community life are respected and celebrated. Orthodox liturgies on his feast day recount his virtues, miracles, and the enduring power of his teachings. Beyond the boundaries of Europe, Benedict's legacy has reached every corner of the globe. Benedictine monasteries and communities flourish in the Americas, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. In the United States, Saint Benedict is honored not only in monastic settings, but also in parishes and schools that bear his name. The values espoused in his rule, balance, hospitality, stewardship, continue to inspire those seeking a meaningful and purposeful life. Modern celebrations of Saint Benedict reflect the diversity of the Christian world. In some places, the feast is marked by acts of service, such as feeding the hungry or caring for the sick. In others, it is an occasion for ecumenical dialogue, bringing together Christians from different traditions to honor a common heritage. For many, the day is a reminder to seek God in the ordinary rhythms of daily life, just as Benedict taught. The message of Saint Benedict endures because it speaks to the heart of the human experience. In a world often marked by division and distraction, his rule offers a path to peace, order, and spiritual growth. His call to listen with the ear of the heart invites each person to encounter God in silence, in community, and in service to others. As the sun rises over Monte Cassino and churches around the world ring their bells in Benedict's honor, his legacy continues to shape lives. Through prayer and work, through hospitality and humility, Saint Benedict's vision lives on, a beacon of hope, a guide for the journey, and a testament to the power of faith to transform the world.